Good morning. I'm going to do 2.8 in making meaning for you. 2.8 today in our Origo math. It's going to be reviewing half past the hour. Yesterday we did on the hour. Today is going to be half past the hour, which is another way of saying 30 minutes past. We know that the longhand tells us the minutes. The shorthand tells us the hour. And so if you'll look on page 64, the very first where it says step in, look at this analog clock, look at the shorthand, and it's on the 8, and the longhand is on the 12, which means 8 o'clock. And if you'll look right beneath it or below it, look at this digital clock. What do the numbers on the left side of the colon tell you? What do the numbers on the right side of the colon tell you? So it says 2 o'clock because the 2 is on the left side and the 2 zeros is on the right side, so it's 2 o'clock. There are 60 minutes in an hour. If you will look, it's every 5 minutes from one number to the other. So from 12 to 1 is 5 minutes, 1 to 2, and all the way across. So 30 minutes are in a half hour. There are 2 clocks, and it says, look at these 2 clocks. What time are they showing, and how do you know? Well, the analog clock, the digital clock just tells you automatically. It's 4:30. The analog clock is a little tricky because you have to look at the shorthand and the longhand. So the shorthand is on the 10 and the longhand is on the 6. So remember, there's 5 minutes in between each number. So if you went 12 to 1, that's 5. 1 to 2 is 10. 2 to 3 is 15. 3 to 4 is 20, 4 to 5 is 25, and 5 to 6 is 30. So it'd be 10:30. And once you know more about clocks, you'll be able to look right at it and go, oh, I know that when it's on the 6, it's 30 past or half past. So now what you're going to do in the step up is circle in red all the clocks that show on the hour and circle in blue all the clocks that show half past or 30 after. Then in the number 2 on page 65, write each time in words. So if you would look at the clock and the shorthand is on 7 and the longhand is on 12, which we know is 7 o'clock. So if you'll write 7 and then o'clock. And if you'll do the same all the way A to I. And at the bottom of this page 65, it says circle the clocks that show a time after 11 o'clock in the morning and before 4:30 in the afternoon. So if you will circle the clocks that show after 11 o'clock and before 4:30. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you find those 4? So anything after 11 and anything before 4:30. And if you will go to the next page, we're going to do 66 and 67 as well. Maintaining concepts and skills. It says think and solve. Look at these 3 strings. String A is kind of curvy. String B is curvy but longer in between the curves. And string C is really tighter. So now you're going to complete the sentences. This looks tricky. String is the longest. Which string do you think's the longest? Which string do you think's the shortest? Write the answers for each clue in the grid and use words from the list. Let's go back to the think and solve. I think that the longest, if you stretched it out, that would probably be the longest one. So I'm wondering if the one that's really tightly woven, if you stretch that out, if that's going to be the longest one. And maybe the one that's pretty close to the straightest is probably the shortest. What do you think? So now clues across, it's like we're going to do a crossword puzzle. An empty number line does not have any blank on it. And you're going to use the words in the blue box to fill in this puzzle. And if one of them's kind of trickier, you're not sure, skip. And I bet you, if you, out of 6 of them, if you know 4 of them, then you could just read the 2, kind of eliminate all the ones you do know, and then the ones you don't know, come back and see if those make sense. An empty number line does not have any closer on it, line on it, marks, 60, half, or minutes on it. Oh, I think I get it. And another thing is you can go to number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has 5 letters in it. So that eliminates several right there. So I think that is an empty number line does not have any marks on it. That's 2 across. So let's go to 4 across. If you look at the 4 and the 4 blanks, that's what you're looking for the answer for 4 across. A number blank does not have to start at 0. A number, ooh, I see that one. Because remember the other day we were doing those 2 different number lines? And I think Hannah and I forget the other ones. But one of them started at 0, the other one started at 30. 5 across, 18 is blank to 20, then 10. 18. Ooh, that's a long word too. So I do look like that. It does look like there's one possible answer. 18 is blank to 20, then 10. Now the clue's down, so you're going to look at the numbers and go down. There are 30 minutes in blank an hour. There are 30 minutes in, oh, I see that one. That one could be tricky. There are 30 minutes in half an hour because in 1 hour there's 60 minutes. So in 30 minutes it would be half an hour. 2 down. The long hand on a clock counts the, ooh, we've reviewed that a couple of times. The long hand on the clock counts the, ooh, I just gave you this answer for 3. There are how many minutes in 1 hour? I think this will be easy for you. So now on page 67, you're going to write 2 addition facts to match each picture. If you'll look at the hanger on A, it looks like there's 5 green clips and there's 3 purple clips. So you could do 5 plus 3 equals 8, or you could do 3 plus 5 equals 8. And if you'll do B the same way, and then on 2, section 2, draw the clock hands to show those times. And if you'll do that, remember the short hand is the hour and the longer hand is the minutes. And preparing for Module 3, we're so close to Section 3 or Unit 3 in this book. If you'll compare the numerals, I want you to write the words greater than or less than, the bigger number or the smaller number. And do it again. Yesterday in class, there was a little bit of confusion because they always want to tell me the number that's less than, even if it's the second number. Go in order. 46 is that less than or is it greater than 50? Then 33, is that less than or greater than? Well, that's our lesson for today. If you have any questions, just let me know, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.